Welcome to the first Kombo podcast where movement meets mission. Kombo is a combination of all forms of movement, and today I'm with my cousin Quan, who has built this with me, and we're here at where it all started, West Haven, Connecticut, where you can see the bars, and this is where we started summer camp, and we started it just an idea in our head, and from then we had 8 weeks of summer camp, and fast forward 1 year, I'm finishing college, and Quan is about to be a senior in college.
Senior.
And we'll start it off with you introducing yourself again.
Yeah, so I'm Quan, and I was building this with Travis back in the summer of 2024, and it was just a great experience, just learning, growing, and building this overall Kombo company with him, and just learning about the ideas we could make up and what we could build, and a time frame of the summer through summer camp, and just overall learning just to be better every day.
All right, bro, that's perfect. And I'll just start it off asking you, where did we first fall in love with movement?
I'd definitely say when we were young, because I remember going after school when we were like 8, 9, 10 years old, back in like elementary, middle school, and Travis would always, do parkour, and I would always get into it in the backyard at his house, and we would just do flips on the trampoline, or just any type of skits, movies that involves movement, and I think that's where it all clicked in my brain, and probably his brain too.
Yeah, I think it started with, I'd say it started even before parkour. It was more, I think we were always very into challenges.
Yeah.
So as a kid, we would like do jumps, kicks, or like play fighting, like the sticks. Bro, that we used to pick up sticks and pretend they were different types of swords.
Yeah.
So I pick up like a stick and I said, "This is the water sword," or like the fire sword. Remember that?
Yeah. Okay.
So and I think every kid actually has that feeling when it comes to movement, because it's very natural, and it's part of our human nature to improve our fitness and movement, and that's also where the idea of Kombo connects with. And so we just have a list as well, and we're just gonna go through it.
So how did Kombo, like the idea, what made you want to do like what Kombo is?
So Kombo started in the beginning of 2024 as an idea just from thinking that we could start something. And I remember when that thought came up, we didn't have the name Kombo, we didn't have a business idea. We just had the thought that we can create something and that it can grow and help us improve in our skills as well. And so I remember Kombo started with weekly calls where we would just call each other. And actually, I think I went to your house and I brought the idea of starting a summer camp, right?
Yeah, okay. It was after like a run or workout or something.
Yeah.
And then he just said, "Oh, I have this idea," and it just clicked in my mind. It was like, "Oh, it might be possible."
And bro, that's the perfect feeling when I just kept saying it's possible. I remember saying, "Do you think it's possible to start a summer camp where we teach like parkour, calisthenics?" I'm not even sure if I thought of all the different ways, but I thought of starting a place where we can teach what we've learned.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea came from. And you, what did you think when I brought the idea to you?
Definitely a little hesitation, because it was so new, just starting a business, and I didn't have like really much experience, but I guess Kombo, because we could learn through like building, as you said, and just learning overall about like the business aspect, and just having a fun time with the kids as well. Like I want to help like kids learn about these forms of movements and just teach them the way.
Yeah, Yeah, that was nicely said. And before we move on about like building Kombo and everything, let's go deeper into what we've done as Kombo athletes now. But how did we get to this point to where we're able to be so hybrid? And what are some of the sports and skills that you trained maybe through school and outside of it?
Definitely. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I just love building, getting crafty, just thinking outside the box. But outside of just school, I'm a hybrid athlete, and currently we both are training for Ironman 70.3 in less than 4 weeks. So that triathlon as well, calisthenics, some bit of parkour and flipping.
Yeah, there's so much in Kombo, but explain the sports that you did growing up, like the track life and Kung Fu.
When I was younger, we also did Kung Fu for about like 5-6 years, and I guess it made me realize that I'm so much more capable of being, fit, and my mentality of just like physicalness, and doing track during high school, it definitely helped for training for this.
I'd say that's a big pivot in your like journey as well. Once you started doing track, I saw you were very consistent for several days. Like it became part of who you were because you got really good at it. Because I remember meeting you one time at the track meet. It was like your first mile, and I stopped. I did track for a half a semester, but Quan, he actually kept at it and almost was able to go to compete in college as well for track, right?
Yeah, I could have walked on my school, UNH, University of New Haven, but I was scared. It was too big of a commitment, and I just didn't really want to commit to that feeling and just going to practice every day, being sore every day, just my body.
And I think it all fits with the plan, because if he did do track full time, he'd be a lot skinnier and less hybrid. So it might have been part of the plan, bro. But yeah, what else is it?
I guess for you, like out of parkour, calisthenics, ninja, which one of your like disciplines is the hardest?
Is the hardest?
Yeah.
So out of those three, parkour, calisthenics, and ninja, I'd say they were all hard in the beginning. Every single skill that you start in the beginning is tough. And that's just how it is, because you're not used to it. It takes time to learn these skills. For when I was young and we were just getting into parkour is just is natural movement going from point A to point B. It was pretty hard doing jumps, kongs, and vaults. But when you enjoy something, you don't see it as hard. You see it as overcoming a challenge. And through that feeling, we were able to do flips, vault over things, jump far. And same goes with when I got into calisthenics and ninja. I was not good at all. I could barely do a muscle up. And a muscle up was hard at the time. But then I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that feeling of overcoming challenge and putting to the skills that I've already had to expand. And that's, today, we could hit 720, man. It's crazy. And we've done competitions, trained with a lot of the best athletes in the US.
Yeah, definitely.
And then same goes with ninja. I was terrible at ninja. I knew how to swing and catch myself from parkour and calisthenics, but these ninjas are on a different strength. They can one arm pull up multiple reps, one arm. They could hang for an hour. There's some ninjas that can hang for an hour. Me, my max was 2 minutes before. Now it's like 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, same goes with ninja. I didn't even train ninja until I was called to go on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
We literally, it was here, bro. we were just goofing around, like doing calisthenics and swinging, and then they say you get to go in American Ninja Warrior. That's when I started training American Ninja Warrior. It was only a couple months until we kind of got good.
Yeah, so how did that feel, like competing for Ninja Warrior in like this big competition?
Bro, that feeling of competing in American Ninja Warrior, the best feeling was standing on the stage and I look to the left and the whole family was there. You were there, my whole family. Jep was there. That was the best feeling. Like, the course itself also was very fun, but that moment when I was standing on stage and I just looked to the left, it was a surreal feeling because I felt that all the work and energy that I put in was worth it. Like, from us as a kid to growing up, I kept saying that it was possible. Kombo, the idea of Kombo, I said, it's possible, and it happened. And I can't believe when I was standing on stage for American Ninja Warrior, my favorite part was, just standing on that stage. And just to talk a little bit more about it, it was 5 obstacles, and then you run up the wall. And I went through those obstacles I felt super good. There was one part where you had to do the steps, and that was the scariest part.
Just skipped over one.
Doing the steps was the scariest part because people can mess up, just the slightest mess up, and you fall into the water. And so I actually skipped over it, and then I was super hyped. But that's where I'd say that I failed. I got too hyped and too energetic. I forgot to rest and breathe throughout the obstacles, and I fell on the 5th one. But it was a great experience.
So I guess how do you stay balanced with all these forms of combo movements, like as you said?
Yeah, especially now while we're both training for the Ironman, I see that it's hard to balance many skills. A lot of people say don't be the jack of all trades. Mm-hmm. They say that it's bad because you're splitting all your time and skills into different things. But I'd say with Kombo, they say jack of all trades, master of none. That's what they say. But I believe with Kombo, jack of all trades, master of everything.
Yeah, master. Okay.
And so I realize we need to change how we think, because it's hard to balance all these things. But if you try to do well by mastering all these things, then it's part of the process. I'd say I'm also lacking in the running and the endurance, but I don't think I'm going to be left behind or not able to do it. I still believe that I'm going to be able to push through and build my endurance up. What about you?
Definitely say it's difficult because I stopped training calisthenics, like freestyling, for since our last competition back in middle of March, and I've just been focusing on
January, right? Was it January?
No, it was the college one.
Oh yeah.
The college one. I stopped seshing freestyling for the past 2 months, and I think I don't know. I just been focusing more on just learning triathlon, increasing my technique for swimming. I'm definitely lacking in the swim, but for my running and biking, I'm very disciplined in what I do. But that is pretty much how I stay balanced. But I've been trying to get more into doing push-ups, pull-ups, muscle-ups every day, just to build my muscle mass, but as well as keeping my endurance and my longevity for triathlon training and the Ironman prep.
Yeah, let's go a little bit more in that, because what you asked me is pretty true. I'd say I also haven't been doing calisthenics freestyle or parkour as much, and ninja, because we would have to spend so much energy training the runs, training the bikes, and training the swim. And just if people don't know, can you explain what the Ironman 70.3 is and the disciplines and how much we have to train for?
All right, yeah. So I think 9 months ago, I signed up for the Ironman 70.3, and it was right after a half marathon, because I felt super like motivated, disciplined. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I told Travis, and he was like, no way.
Yeah, bro, I could not believe it.
And bro, and then I think the next week he literally signed up, and I was like, bro, we're gonna do this together.
Yeah.
So basically, the Ironman 70.3 is a triathlon of swimming, biking, and running. So for the swim, it is a 1.2 mile swim in the Connecticut River, which we're gonna compete at in the next month. And for the biking, it is a 56-mile bike ride, and then straight into a 13.1 mile run, so a half marathon. So it is all 3 forms of discipline. And training for this, it's super hard because you gotta, train all 3 at once, and it just gets your body super tired. But I know in the end it's gonna be, rewarding getting that medal at the end, and just learning from these experiences. But training and fueling for this as well, it's you just gotta have discipline, because if you don't get your nutrition right or your feeling right, then your body's just gonna shut down, and it's gonna go bad. But just definitely staying on top of everything, swimming, biking, running, and definitely fueling yourself with the right food, carbs, and electrolytes. Definitely plays a big role into training for this as well. Since it's coming up and within less than 4 or a month actually. So
yeah, and when you brought up that we signed up 9 months ago, I had a flashback to us signing up for our first half marathon as well. I was also at Quan's house, and I remember sitting down and just saying, let's sign up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it me that said for the half? So for the half marathon, I knew my life goal was an Ironman, and I remember saying I never took any steps towards it. And so I sat down and I said, let's do the half marathon. And right on the spot, we pulled up our laptops and signed up.
Yeah.
But for the Ironman, Glenn was the one that took action. Right after the half marathon, he signed up for the half Ironman. I don't know if I would have done that if he didn't do that. And so this also connects with how you need to build a group of people or a team of people who are trying to improve themselves, and you will try to level up as well with the people, because that's a big part of why, even for example today we were running and my pace is slower than Kwon's, but just by running with him I keep up with him. And so that's what I realized. Yesterday we went swimming, and Kwon also runs and swims fast for some reason, even though he just started, and I try to keep up with him. And these simple things, if he wasn't here, I wouldn't go swimming in the open water, or I wouldn't wake up and run and start this podcast. And so, yeah, that's a good example of building a team.
It's definitely nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
For the training for this.
Definitely.
I know we could push through. Just the end goal, finish at the finish line. Just know that you completed a triathlon, not only a triathlon, but Ironman, which is really big. And one of my life goals is just to complete a full Ironman before I turn 30 or 25.
Let's go.
Yeah, but next year, actually, October of 2026, Hartford Marathon.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's always another level. When you think you've reached it, that's your downfall, because you actually never reach it. That's what I realized in all the skills in parkour, calisthenics, ninja, Ironman training. You think you've made it, you think you're good, you think you're the best. That's when you will fall down, because we think there's a finish line to the Ironman, but right after Ironman, Kwon's saying he's signing up for a full marathon, and I haven't done that as well. So there's always another level.
Yeah.
There's always more to be done, and when you think you've made it, that's when you might fall down. All right, so which movement discipline changed your mindset the most?
Bro, I definitely say swimming, cause I was like a month, no, not even a month ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, I could barely swim 100 meters. And Travis was there with me. It was at the YMCA of Milford, and we were swimming together for the first time. And I could barely like do 100 meters without, you know, getting super gassed out. And I was going really fast for some reason. I don't know why, but definitely swimming is the hardest discipline to get right, and just sticking to your technique as well. Because if you don't, you're just gonna get super gassed out, and then I was just scared of drowning. So that's one of my goals, to not drown, but as well just to finish before the cutoff time. So.
Oh man. So let's move on to the cousin dynamic. So we're both cousins. What's it like doing this with family? And what's the best part, and what gets on your nerves?
I guess the cousin dynamic is, I think it's super helpful, because, you know, we know each other super well, and that we could bounce off each other, motivate each other when, you know, things get tough. But, you know, having Travis around, because we've been together since, you know, when we were young, and just doing all these sorts of things. And I look back to my camera roll, and there was a bunch of videos of us, you know, making videos, content, putting out there for YouTube, and it was just, you know, it felt good to you know, have a brother figure as well, because I grew up as an only child, and he was just, you know, always there for me. We would do everything together when we were younger, and now we're doing the half Ironman together. So
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, I'd also say the same thing. When I look back, I realized Quan was always there. Like, you were always there. Whenever we would do a challenge, it always seemed like you had no fear. Like, when we were young, Quan was the one that never showed fear. And looking back on that, I'd say that's also a reason why I wanted to level up, because when you see someone else just double front flip off a house, bro, or like, you also want to try to improve yourself. And like, growing up, all the videos that we made, we started actually with a video called The Stalker, which was a video of Glenn just following me, and then we would do a fight scene. And that simple form of content, I think the energy that we put in fully went on to Kombo, and I'd say it was a really good journey of like being together and doing kung fu, doing parkour, to now training for the Ironman. And I'm just grateful too.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm grateful that we are cousins. Like, as a family, I see how there can be harsh feelings or hard feelings, but since we both grew up differently in different places, when we do come together, it's special, because we know that it doesn't last forever, because we're also gonna be doing our own things, like different schools, different families, different jobs, different hobbies. But now it's similar with our life goal, which is just to keep getting better 1% each day. And so that's what it feels like. What's one memory from training or building Kombo that still makes you laugh?
Definitely say picking up the kids every morning, and then, you know, just talking to them in the car, and then when we have lunch, it was just cool talking about with the kids all together, and just teaching them the Kombo way. But it was just definitely funny, because, you know, they would always be funny as well. They would always joke around with us, and they would just always want to do things. Like, there was this one kid named was it Hunter? No, was it? What's that like? But he would climb the roof. Right. Anyway,
what is his name?
I forgot his name though.
What's his name?
No, it's not Hunter. I forgot his name.
I think Hunter was his last name. Let's see. Gunner.
Gunner. Yeah, Gunner.
Gunner.
But he would be super funny, and it would just he would just make us laugh each day.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts too was in reality, sometimes we didn't even know what we were doing. We had to spend 8 hours with kids. And I remember the first week we didn't even know how to start. But that's what was so fun. I remember we were standing here and we just had to somehow teach the kids something. Mm-hmm. And it was just funny when I would look at Quan and I'd be like, just your turn. Oh man.
No, but it was a good experience though, just learning how to deal with kids as well, and definitely growing as a company, because like you said, we didn't really know what to do, but as we get more into the years in the future, we could learn a lot about, you know, our past experience and how we could fix that and improve on, you know, building an actual company maybe in the future with a full warehouse, and that, you know, maybe one day Kombo is going worldwide.
Bro. Yes. I remember you commented that Kombo is going worldwide, and I screenshotted it. And I think that's also the next step in our journey, because if we can see it in here and we can act upon it, I believe that it can come and be fruitful. Because similar to how a tree grows, it starts off as a little plant and it has to have the right conditions in order to grow. It needs water, it needs air, and it needs the sun. Hello, ba. Got in now recording with Quan. And that quote was actually from my dad. And he's walking in right now. And so I think that's how we need to envision when we build a brand, and our brand is Kombo. So lastly, to end it off, what does Kombo athlete mean to you now, and where do you see Kombo 5 years from now?
Definitely, as Travis said, you know, we're one of the first, you know, Kombo athletes to build and grow this thing, and you know, it means a lot, because, you know, I gotta be, you know, motivated to put out, you know, more content. You know, I've been lacking on that as well, because, you know, as Kombo, we want to, you know, grow in every aspect, and I've been lacking on, you know, just building myself as well, just, you know, putting out content for myself and just growing my personal aspect, or my personal brand as well. So I guess just be more disciplined in, you know, putting out more content, getting, you know, be more confident in my abilities to talk to the camera. But you know, I see Kombo definitely growing. Maybe 5 years from now, we could have many Kombo athletes, have, you know, merchandise for Kombo. But, you know, it's in the works as well. You know, 5 years is, you know, a long time, but it's also pretty short. So maybe 10, 15, whatever, how long, but maybe we want to definitely grow out into to a warehouse and to make it go worldwide, you know, teaching these forms of movement for just everyone just to get into learning. So definitely.
Thanks for sharing that. And for me, I would say a Kombo athlete to me means someone who's using the skills that they've learned to overcome challenge. And that's truly what Kombo means to me, because it's a combination of all forms of movement. And as an athlete, as a Kombo athlete, you're combining all the things that you've learned to overcome that challenge and to become better.
That's true, yeah.
And so 5 years from now, or in the future, because I realize when you put a timeline on something, sometimes it's not good. Whenever you try to set a goal in a certain timeline, I realize it's like a tree. It takes a very long time. You actually don't know when it's going to grow. It just slowly keeps growing. And that's what I envision Kombo. That every year it's slowly going to grow. 2024, we started the summer camp. 2025, we're going to advertise all of the skills and complete the Ironman, and see that it can be a brand, and we can connect with the community and build a community. And the following years, we hopefully want to have our own facility and potentially multiple facilities around the world, because Kombo's going worldwide, globally.
Let's go.
And lastly, if someone's listening and wants to be a Kombo athlete, where should they start?
Definitely say, just reaching out to us, or just to him as well, to talk and be more confident in what they do, because if they want to start, they got to be disciplined as well, just to learn all these movements. So definitely say reach out and be disciplined, and have set goals that you want to do, and just be overall motivated to learn new things, to grow as an individual and become 1% better each day.
Nice, bro.
What about you?
Yeah, so if someone wanted to be a Kombo athlete now, I'd say that it's a lot more simple than you think.
Yeah.
It's not these crazy moves that we do. We do some pretty crazy moves, and that can also be a barrier for some people, because some people just want to learn how to stay fit and live a healthy lifestyle. And I'd say in Kombo, it can be as simple as doing those push-ups. It's super simple. In the morning when you wake up, do those push-ups, do a squat, do a pull-up, and slowly, if you just begin that simple action, then you'll get better. And I'd even say walking is good too.
No, that's true.
Even the form of walking would be a good form of movement. And in the future, starting now, we should also maybe teach that as well. Like create videos on teaching ways of staying fit, because I realized that it's simple.
No, it is.
It's supposed to be simple, fun, and challenging. And if you could combine those three things, you're a Kombo athlete, basically.
Yeah.
If you're just walking, try walking 10 minutes more. That's basically what the Kombo brand is. You can do a little more. You can change it up. Start walking backwards. Start walking sideways. That's what Kombo is.
Challenge, yeah. Start just branching out new challenges.
Start walking off the wall. Start doing wall runs. Like, that's the vision of Kombo, that it's possible. It starts off as something simple, and you're gonna see how you can do almost anything, because it's all possible if you just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Bro, it's been a great first podcast together. We got the Kombo right here, where it all started. And before we end, I'll just show you the bars. I think it's time for us to hit a muscle up. Simple push-ups, simple squats, simple pull-ups. Once you get good, muscle up. Let's go, hit a muscle up. Let's go.